Music follows us from the very beginning of life. It starts with lullabies and ends with endless playlists on social media. People all over the world spend enormous amounts of money just to listen to their favorite artists. And those artists earn millions from their music. But why does music play such a huge role in our lives? When did humans invent it? And what was it actually for? Today, you'll get the answers. And there's a surprise at the end. The earliest physical evidence that our ancestors deliberately created sound comes from Slovenia. Archaeologists discovered an ancient bone flute in a cave once inhabited by Neanderthals. According to research, it dates back around 40,000 years. Some scientists, however, were skeptical. They argued it was just an animal bone, and the holes were tooth marks left by a predator. The skepticism wasn't really about the bone, it was about Neanderthals. For a long time, researchers believed Neanderthals were far less intelligent than Homo sapiens. They were thought to lack creativity and symbolic thinking. They didn't decorate their caves much, and most of their tools had purely practical purposes. Cave paintings and musical instruments, the story went, were brought to Europe later by Homo sapiens migrating from Africa. But that view has changed. In recent decades, archaeologists discovered that Neanderthals were far more sophisticated than previously assumed. German archaeologist Nicholas Conrad from the University of Tübingen has stated that Neanderthals most likely created and played musical instruments. At least 8 different flutes have been found in Germany alone, and Spanish archaeologist Ruth Blasco agrees. Neanderthals probably made music regularly. The reason we haven't found more instruments is simple. Many of them were likely made of wood, which doesn't survive tens of thousands of years. We see the same pattern today among indigenous tribes that still follow traditional lifestyles. Their instruments are often wooden, but instruments are only part of the story. There was a much older and more powerful musical tool available to our ancestors: the human voice. Scientists believe that a voice capable of producing controlled sounds emerged in hominins around 530,000 years ago. This became possible thanks to specific tongue muscles and muscles attached to the hyoid bone. Archaeological finds show that this bone was present not only in Neanderthals, but also in earlier human species. Anthropologist Stephen Mithen, in his book The Prehistory of Music, notes that the hyoid bone has been found in skulls of multiple ancient humans. For example, it existed in Homo heidelbergensis, who lived in Europe around 700,000 years ago, and even in ancestors who lived nearly 2 million years ago, the vocal apparatus had a similar structure, which means our distant ancestors were likely capable of producing complex vocal sounds, possibly even singing. But why? From a biological perspective, sound signals are extremely important for humans. Rhythm and pitch are powerful tools for transmitting information between individuals. A group of scientists from MIT, led by cognitive researcher Stephen Brown, proposed an intriguing idea. Before humans learned to speak, they sang. According to this theory, the lexical structure of language emerged only before that. Early humans likely communicated through melodic, rhythmic vocalizations. In other words, music may have been humanity's first language. Anthropologist Gilbert Rouget, who spent much of his life living among the Babinga Pygmies in Africa, described how refusing to participate in communal music was considered a sin. He suggested that music acted as a kind of social glue, something that bound people together into groups, and that unity was essential for survival. That might explain why we instinctively sing together at gatherings, why crowds lose themselves at concerts, why rhythm synchronizes people emotionally. Music didn't just entertain us, it helped turn individuals into communities, and sometimes music still connects people in unexpected ways. And now tell us in the comments, what music do you love most? And that's baby science for you.